Welcome, friends. We're back live again. This is Tuesday. Let's see, is today the 12th? It's 12/12 right now. We know that. And I believe it's May 12th, 2020. And so grateful to welcome you to Awareness Moments with Kyra as we begin to gather here together and invite you to come and join me. I want us to take a look today at how we use the directive power of our mind to focus. Welcome, Mary McCormick Morrow. Great to have you watching. Glad to see you here. And as we look at the idea of what do we focus on, I want us to consider a variety of ways of understanding the concept of focus. Welcome, Judy Banyay. Great to see you. Glad to have you here. So as we're working with the idea of focus today, we're going to look at different levels of that. Terry Ward, great to have you watching with us as well. Welcome. And I think George just came on here. So you guys are not having any sound, huh? Let me turn my sound up. Don't know why that is. Is anybody else able to hear me? Judy mentioned she couldn't. And so hopefully you can. I'm hearing back from Terry, so maybe some of you are hearing me. At this point, what I would like to say is we're going to notice focus today. And if you think about a photographer taking photos, you would notice that there is a power to bring different things into focus. Certainly you focus on a subject and you bring that forward in your, process. At the same time, you may focus on what's in the foreground, or you can actually focus on what's in the background, and you can make something blurry in the background and bring focus in the foreground, or you can make something less focused in front and make the focus on something behind. And I want us to know that we are, in our being, in our mind, in our abilities, we have a focusing power within ourselves. The focusing power of our mind is a huge spiritual practice. And so I invite you to be aware of what is your practice with the place where you bring your focus. What thoughts, what awareness are you bringing your focus into? Welcome, Donna Sue. Great to have you with us. And our ability to be the directing power of the aperture of our mind, of using it to focus energy, to focus light, to focus what information we are going to allow into our being, what thoughts we're thinking, what experiences and feelings that we're giving power to in our own being is one of our greatest spiritual gifts. It's a mental, emotional, it really unifies, it's physical as well. My niece was talking about the other day on her video. She started doing videos, which I love. And she was talking about a study that she went to, a workshop that was talking about the chemicals in the body that are released based upon where our focus is. If we're focusing on fear, we're releasing chemicals that increase cortisol, increase stress hormones. And so as a result, that also then begin to compromise our immune system. But because of the chemicals that we're having reactions within our physical body. Whereas if we're focused on wonder and awe, then we release, dopamine and serotonin and things that bring an experience of delight and joy. So I want to invite us to understand the power of our focus is what we choose to allow in our consciousness. And we have many levels at which our consciousness is operating at a given moment. We have the conscious and the unconscious and the infinite consciousness. And what is our awareness? Where are we putting our lens of awareness in our lives? Are we putting it on information that's running rampant in our mind and starting to go into loops and cycles that we've repeated before, fear-based belief systems, or repeating those things that would create a disturbing stir within our body? Or are we putting the focus on the truth of knowing that there is a higher order, there's a divine awareness that's available to us, that there is something that in the process of this, the fact is, I'm standing here. I have survived many things in my life, and in fact, I am thriving at this moment. And what truth do I choose? Do I choose a fear that says, oh my gosh, things aren't what they need to be, and am I going to survive this? And I begin to escalate those energies that then get activated even more by the chemicals I release in my body. Or do I change my focus? Maybe that's the noise of the background. Maybe that's the busyness of the background, and I focus very intently on a higher truth, a higher choice of thought, of feeling, of experience. And when I choose a higher thought, a higher feeling, a vibration that brings me into peace or harmony or the remembrance of who I truly am in this moment and in every moment. I am a being of light. I am an awareness beyond any of this physical matter. That there is a consciousness that I am that is far beyond the greater noise and experience of everything around me. So each one of us have the opportunity to choose at this time, where do I place my focus? Am I really aligning to the greater realization of truth? And it is a practice, because we might find we can put our focus on something for a moment and then it's distracted. Off we go. The squirrels in our head have taken over. And I tell you, I watch these squirrels in my yard. I love them. And so they run all over and they play and they jump and they leap. And their attention span is not very strong unless they're focused on their food. I feed them sunflower seeds and they get their little hands and they're just totally focused when they're eating that. But they are still aware. They're still aware and they're still operating with awareness. See, when we fine tune our focus on what it is we're bringing into existence in this now moment, because this is the only moment that exists, when I attune my focus completely on what it is that I am claiming and knowing for myself, for my world, for my loved ones, whatever it might be, I am holding a higher truth and I'm staying true with my focus. In fact, I'm fine-tuning it. I remember when I had LASIK surgery on my eyes in 1999, I was very, very challenged in sight. And I had worn glasses since I was in 6th grade. I had those Coke bottle kind. I could wear some kinds of contacts, but not all of them. And I remember that when I got that surgery, the LASIK surgery, and I came out and I was able to focus, was in the midst of being able to suddenly go where I would open my eyes in the morning and everything was blurry. And suddenly I could see individual blades of grass. I came out of that surgery and I just wept at the ability to see and to focus on the details that were available to me and the wonder and the beauty of all of it. And it was truly such a blessing in that moment to realize that I had been given the gift of being able to focus and see fully. See, we have the gift of being able to focus and see fully what's really important to us by our choosing. And it is always that we have the directive power of our divine self and our intellect, both. And when we unify those to direct our attention, then we can absolutely transform what it is that is affecting us in a given moment. And like we said, it can set off different kinds of experiences within us, literally chemical reactions within our body that change our way of experiencing and feeling into life in the moment. By choosing to focus on something that gives me wonder, that I have awe over, that the realization of the beauty or the magnificence, or just the fact that I can focus, that I can see this for this moment, this second, and pretty soon I can sustain my ability to focus longer and longer and longer. I mean, that's the power of meditation, right? Of learning to choose what I focus on, what I give that power to open myself to a greater divine focus. So I wish for you today to hone your skills of focus. Notice how you're using the directive power of your mind to focus and what that means for you. And I want to say welcome to Jake Campy and to Jennifer Atkinson Hall and Joan Westinghouse Johnson and Mike Brentari, Ina Stanley, Ruthie Freeman, Joyce Reynolds. So glad to have each one of you with us, because when we together bring our focus into love, into peace, into harmony, into seeing beauty, seeing wonder in this world, then we bring that into our awareness in such a way that it becomes the truth of what is. All things exist far more than we even see with our eyes. And yet our ability to focus on what is real, what is true, what brings forth joy in our being and in the world transforms not only us, but transforms all the world around us. And I thank you for being a part of those players that are willing and able to see into and bring focus through that puts the light of awareness on truth, on higher expression, on the beingness that is alive in each and every one of us. I see your true nature. I see the divine that you are. And I focus on that in everything that I see and everyone that I see. And all of life begins to reflect that back to me as the picture that is becoming clear in my mind, because it's what I choose to focus on. So welcome Marla Durden. So glad to have you with us. And Gil Gallegos, great to have you. And each one of you, thank you. Thank you for being a focusing lens of the divine, looking at the divine, seeing the divine, experiencing the divine in everything. I am grateful to be a player on the path with you, to play this game of life. And let's do it with as much joy and enthusiasm and the power of focus that we can bring. So have a fabulous day. Welcome Allison Tanner. Thanks for joining us as well. And it really is great to hear from you, Donna Sue. I can't believe it was clear back to Asilomar that I saw you last. So love you and blessings to every one of you. See you soon. Bye. Doesn't want to shut off for some reason. All right, we'll get there. Bye again. Bye.